Welcome to your journey of healing with the Healing Podcast, hosted by licensed clinician Monique Owe and co-host Dr. Amber Mohn.
Thank you for tuning into the Healing Podcast. I'm your host, Monique Owe, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host here,
Dr. Amber Mohn.
Today's topic is, will I ever love again? Before we get into the topic, thank you again for tuning in, for taking the time out to support and listen to the Healing Podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hopefully will help you or help someone you know. So today's topic being that will I ever love again? It's really about when you have a broken heart and you're going through that pain, and will you be able to love this person or someone again, to share your heart with someone? So Dr. Mohn, simple question, I guess, maybe it's layered. Can a person love again after a broken heart?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that it's going to take some work depending on what happened, who broke it off, things of that nature. But you definitely can love again.
Okay, makes sense to me. And I agree. I think you can love again after a broken heart. I think, Dr. Mohn, the problem is feeling like, how can I get back there?
Yes.
Because you got to get over that pain. Because if you have a broken heart, that means you probably love the person who broke your heart. Now, I guess, you can have a broken heart for many reasons. It could be grief. It could be loss.
Yes.
Right? It could be that loved one is no longer there. Even if it wasn't romantic, it could be that you lost a parent and now you're so broken heart that how do I even love someone else again? How can I give this love to someone again?
Right.
But let's just say relationship-wise, Dr. Mohn, right?
Yes.
Someone breaking your heart for whatever reason, whatever happened that caused a broken heart. And now just feeling like, will I love again? Can I share this again with someone?
Right.
And I guess, Dr. Mohn, what would make a person think that they can't? Like, how can I love again? What would make them be in that space? Why are they feeling that way?
Because it hurts. When you have a broken heart, you literally feel like your heart has come up out your chest. Who wants to feel that? Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to feel that. Nobody wants to go through the pain that you feel when your heart is broken. So I think that it's important to understand and see, but is the love that you felt, the bliss that you felt when you were in love with someone, typically, and I can only speak for myself, that outweighs the bad. It outweighs the broken heart.
So I guess the broken heart has to be, I'm assuming the split was not amicable.
Okay.
I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you won't be hurt from a breakup, but a broken heart, I'm going to assume it happened because it was something you weren't expecting to happen. You didn't expect this person to cheat on you, to lie to you, to leave you. Maybe just, I don't want to be with you anymore. Mm-hmm. If it's a situation of death, you didn't expect that person to pass, of course, right now, especially if it's sudden, right? Those things cause a broken heart, right?
Yes,
I don't think if it's amicable, Dr. Mohn, where we both agree that we're not seeing eye to eye, I don't know if that's going to cause you to have a broken heart fully the same when it's sudden.
Right.
So we are talking more so, I would say, when it's that pain, that breakup, when it was sudden, can't believe you did this, you cheated, you lied, or you just left, you ghosted me, you're gone. Those things. Mm-hmm. And it's feeling like, how can I get over? How can I share again with somebody? How can I be vulnerable again, Dr. Mohn, after I put all my love into you?
Yes.
We were solid, and all of a sudden now we're not.
Yes.
Well, let me back up. You always want to know, most time people want to know, why did you do this to me? Well, Dr. Mohn, why did they break their heart?
I don't know. I don't know why. All I know is, what you can do to get past the why. There are a lot of reasons as to why, people break up, which it is what it is. But how do we move on? How do we heal and open ourselves to the chance of loving again? And so my answer to that is, number one, you have to dedicate your time to feeling your feelings and making sure you aren't suppressing them. So I know a lot of times, during the breakup, we'll go, not we, but I've seen where people will go out and party and try to drink their feelings away or try to move on with someone else, and things of that nature. But when you're doing that, you're not allowing yourself to feel how you feel, really understanding what happened. looking at your role, looking at their role, making sure that you are improving whatever was the issue was so that it doesn't happen again, either or. So, I mean, there's so many different, circumstances and things that there's just a lot of things
that go into a broken heart.
Yeah.
Well, if I had to answer to you, why did they break your heart? Any answer I give won't satisfy you because it won't equal the pain that you're feeling, right? Or that you felt. You might be over it by now. That broken heart, even if I told you why, this is why they did it. This is why they cheated. Would that make you feel better? Right? Would it? Probably not. I don't know if it will make you feel better.
Yeah.
This is why they cheated on you.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to feel like, well, let me just do that thing then so they'll come back. No. Or this is why they left. Or this is why they lied. I can give you various reasons. I mean, okay, why do people leave? Well, they're unhappy. Right? They're unhappy sometimes. And when you're unhappy, sometimes you do things that might not feel as good to the other person. It might have felt good to them, but not to you who went through it. Why do they lie? Well, they might be afraid to tell the truth. They can't stand up to the truth. It might be easier for them to lie than to face what the truth thing was, which ends up breaking your heart because you had to deal with the lie.
Right.
So my whole point is with the why, like Dr. Mohn said, she can't really tell you why, and I'm saying I can give you a whole bunch of whys. Mm-hmm. That's not going to make you feel better. Do you really want to hear why? This is why. They said they left because they don't like you anymore. And they like this person. That's why. Does that help? Doesn't help. I don't think that helps. If anything, it makes you feel worse. Right? I think if anything, it makes you feel like, so you're saying they're better than me? No, that's the whole point. It doesn't matter the why. I think that the important thing is that it happened. And now you're feeling this pain. And you're trying to get past that pain. So, yes, you will love again. Dr. Mohn, so you got to do some work. You got to heal. Dr. Mohn, well, you would think it's that simple. That's it. Put a Band-Aid on it, right?
No, definitely not.
Not that simple?
No, not at all. No.
Why not?
Because, I mean, the pain is there, so you can go, you can go out and, to the club the night of your breakup, but when you wake up the next morning, that hurt's going to be right there. You can move on with somebody else, but if, you still have that person that you were with who broke up with you in your heart, then you just, number one, you're wasting your time and that other person's time because you're not over that person. Mm-hmm. So the best thing that you can do is to deal with it. It's to hurt. It's to cry. It's to yell. It's to go get therapy, whatever it is, to deal with it, feel it. And I agree that, most of the time it doesn't help. It doesn't help to really know why a person broke up with you. It's not gonna help anything. However, sometimes I think that it might, Monique. If someone tells you that ever since we got together, you stopped working and you don't want to work and I can't deal with you.
Okay.
Or when we got together, I was attracted to you because you were 135 and now you're 235. It might not feel good, but that's the truth. And sometimes there are things that we can do if we want to change. So I will say for the most part, no, it doesn't help, but sometimes I think that it does.
Okay. So if I tell somebody it's because you gained all that weight, so if I lose the weight, you'll come back?
So no. But what it does do is it says,
I need to work on me.
Yeah. I need to work on me. You have to, you can't just let yourself go now that you're in a relationship. There are things that we can do together. They may have tried to, let's exercise together. Let's eat better. And you like, no. And you get with your friends. I got a man. It don't matter. Nah, but it probably does to him.
Well, I think even to the guy, if it happened to the guy, if he gained the weight, like you let yourself go. You used to be nice and cut up and now you've let yourself go. I guess, I'm not going to give an excuse because you still need to work on you. Only, I guess, little leeway I'll give you with that is, if your weight loss is because of a health condition, right? Or because maybe, I'm going to go both ways as a mom. Maybe you had children and since the last child, you just can't, you tried everything. You can't lose the gut. And this person left you because of that gut. Foolish of them.
Absolutely.
I think horrible on them. Shame on them. Because life happens and we change and health gets in the way. Same thing with him. If his thing was, I'm not talking about unhealthy weight, y'all. I'm not talking about obesity when it's affecting your weight and you know you're overeating. I'm not talking about that.
Yes.
That you do need to work on. So I'm talking about when you've tried, but this condition, because you have this condition, it doesn't matter. The medication you're on is going to cause you to gain more weight than before. You're not going to be 150 anymore.
Exactly.
And they left you because of that. I'm saying just because of that. Yes. I think shame on them for that. Yes, get yourself together as much as you can, but that doesn't mean you go back to them. You get yourself together for you. Absolutely. But like Dr. Mohn said, but going back to when it's really more so you're letting yourself go, keep up with your appearance. You know, your mate got with you for some reason. They liked you. They were attracted to you. Keep up with yourself. Whatever you can do. Hair thins, hair you gain, the color changes, things like that. But that doesn't mean you still can't put yourself together. Doesn't mean you still can't put on a nice pair of sweatpants, versus those old sweatpants that you've been wearing all the time. Nice t-shirt in the house. Doesn't mean every now and again, if you're a woman who doesn't wear heels all the time and your husband liked you back in the day with the heels, every now and again throw a little heel on, right? A man, every now, she used to love when you wear that cologne and used to, be kind of trimmed up, shave up the beard.
Moisturize that beard.
Yes, take care of that, be well groomed, smell good, do things like that versus every time they come around, you still got all of those flip-flops on, okay? You weren't like that back in the day. Right. So, yes, take time into your appearance, right, Dr. Mo? So, if it is, I guess it does help in that regard. Maybe you need to hear the truth, that you did let yourself go or you just stopped doing this one thing, that they used to like.
Yes.
So, yes, I'll agree. Dr. Mohn is right. In that regard, does help you to know. But the main thing I think we're both promoting is you need to heal. You will love again.
Yes.
Well, if you want to. I'll say if you want to love again, you will. And if you are open to loving again, you will. But don't skip the healing part. Don't rush it. I think it's you're going to have to go through the pain, right? And then so you can get back to the pleasure, to the nice part, right? So before we get into more about will I love again? Let's make a quick segue here. We're going to go into guess the situation. Dr. Mohn, what's our situation for today?
All right. This situation was taken from someone posting online. A man meets a lady online on a dating app. They have been talking and texting back and forth for about 2 weeks. They seem to have wonderful chemistry. They decide it's time to meet in person. They live in the same state, but different parts. The drive between them is about 4 hours. A flight is about 1.5 hours. The gentleman made plans to come to her area and stay the weekend in a hotel. He made reservations for the two of them for dinner. If everything went well, then, they could go to brunch or lunch the next day before he left. She requested that they meet at the restaurant. He gave her the place/reservation time. The day of the dinner, she texted him saying she was going to be about 15 minutes late. He thought that this was okay. However, 30 minutes went by and she had not arrived. He texted asking if she was okay. She apologized and said her friend just broke up with her fiance and is devastated. She was trying to console her, and this is why she had not arrived yet. She now thinks it might be an hour before she arrives. In this situation, should the gentleman have told her never mind and no longer deal with her, or be understanding and cancel the dinner reservation and try for lunch the next day? Wow, this is interesting. So, what I would say is I think that this could be a case of the catfish because, you said talking or texting. So I didn't, you didn't say FaceTime or anything like that. So I don't know if they've ever seen each other, video chatted. What if they did? I'm still thinking something's not right.
Okay.
And so with that, if he flew there and did all that, got a hotel and did all that, the least you can do is say, hey, I'm gonna go to dinner, so I'll call you when I get out. So you are making this man wait for an hour or more while you console your friend. I think that's something that's right, and I would be like, you know what, don't worry about it. That's just my personality. Don't worry about it. If my husband doesn't complete something in 5 minutes, don't worry about it. So, and I'm just joking, but that's how I feel,
true.
Monique.
It's true. Yeah, I think if I took time out of my schedule to fly somewhere, it didn't even matter if I flew, if I drove somewhere, and I made a reservation showing you how much I was interested, and you decide that my time was not enough for you to make time for me. You rather console your friend. I'm not telling you not to be there for your friend. I get it. That's devastating to break up with the fiance. But that she gonna be there after the date. This is one of the times where, friend, I'm gonna be here. Hold on. I'm gonna call you as soon as I'm done with this dinner. Should the guy not talk to her anymore? This is what I'm gonna say. Depending on how much he liked her. I know life happens, but I would say that's a stern boundary. Like, don't waste my time like that again. So I think if he's gonna be in town, since he's gonna be there, and he's gonna be there next day anyway,
he's gonna have an attitude.
I'm just saying, if you really liked her, and y'all y'all were FaceTiming, because it could be the catfish. Maybe Dr. Mohn brought up a good point. Maybe it's a catfish, and she don't really want to see you. That's true. The hardcore me is saying, no, you don't even get my time. Your number is blocked. But I'm just saying, if you really liked this person, I am going to give leeway. Mistakes happen. If this person's trying to be a good friend, but also trying to meet you, and I'm trying to, this person been there for me every time, trying to do both. I think it was a lack of regard on her part and disrespectful to waste your time like that. I'm going to say you can agree to go to lunch, but she's going to have to pay for it this time. You're going to have you take me to lunch. The agreement was, I'm willing to see you again, but what do you suggest? And take me. I think that, but I think it go either or. I think my thing is, if you really like her, I wouldn't give up so easy. If you really like the person, because that could be the one. It could just be a simple bad mistake, I guess. But if you were like, I was feeling them, but I don't know if I'm feeling like that. Yeah, cut them off, block them. Okay, that's my take on that. I hope if you're out there in the dating world and you meet, don't waste somebody's time like that. That's a lot. A whole flight. Right. A whole flight. I don't care. Listen, these tickets out here, they're not that cheap now. Okay. I don't care if they were coming from the same state. Doesn't matter. A flight is a flight. Right. You got to go through security and all that. That's inconvenient. And for you to just not talk to me because your friend was devastated when your friend going to be there in the same city. Exactly. That's horrible. But anyway, don't do that to somebody, y'all. Be respectful of somebody's time. If you're out there and want to share your situation, please email support@thehealingpodcast.com. Share it that way. And before we get into the topic again, a word from our sponsor, Healing Expressions.
Are you someone who has been considering therapy? Perhaps someone else has told you that you need to talk to a therapist. Or maybe you're in a relationship and you want to discuss some challenges that you've been facing with your significant other. Maybe there's a communication issue, perhaps an incident of infidelity. Or maybe you just want to strengthen your relationship because you guys are thinking about taking another step. Maybe you're struggling with anxiety or depression, perhaps grief, life stressors, and you just want to share your thoughts with someone. Well, consider contacting Healing Expressions. Healing Expressions is a private practice located in the Atlanta, Georgia area. You will be given a session at an affordable price with a licensed therapist. If this resonates with you, consider going to healingexpressionsllc.com, reading about the practice, and hitting the contact tab to see if you can book a session. All right. Thank you so much. And back to the Healing Podcast.
Okay, back into the topic. Will I ever love again? Because you're dealing with a broken heart. We know that, yes. Dr. Mohn and I both have said, yes, you will love again. If you want that, you can. It's just difficult, Dr. Mohn. It's hard to do that. Yeah. Because I am thinking about what you did, how much I love them, right? Yes. It's a broken heart because I really cared for them. I really was invested. Sometimes you don't know how invested you were to the person that's not there. You're like, wow, you're not there anymore? Yeah. You're angry. You're hurt. You might be a little bitter. You might want to get back at them. Don't do that. Don't, you plan on, well, I should go over there and break your window. Now, that's if the man may have did it to a woman. I'm not going to stereotype. But let's say the woman did it to the man, broke his heart. You're feeling like you want to cut up all of her pictures, maybe. You feel like you want to curse her out. You might want to put her on blast on social media. Just out of the pain. You want to just make sure that person hurts like you. But when you get past all that, Dr. Mohn, how do I heal? How do I heal from this broken heart so that I can love again?
So, when it comes down to it, the only true cure for a broken heart is time. And until you get some space from your loss, there's no denying the pain. Like, you can't deny it, Monique. You cannot. And so prolonging it, you'll look up and 3 years later, you still got this man on your mind and you're still walking around here bitter because, you've been trying to mask it. Deal with it. I'm a firm believer, and it's because I didn't been there. I had my heart snatched out my chest, getting into my corner. And my thing is, I still worked, still went out and did what I needed to do, but came home and cried, and yelled and, dealt with that pain. And then I tried to understand it. I tried to understand it. I just wasn't his cup. I wasn't. And so as hurtful as that may have been to say, like, I'm not, you're not. So that's what helped me. Time, just dealing with it.
Okay, so I agree. Dr. Mohn said time, dealing with it, allow yourself to feel it. She cried it out. Like, broken heart, gotta come home, work, and cry it out, right? Yeah, I would say cry, let it go. Let it, like, release is what I'm saying. Let all that pain out, right? Shoot, yell. You might need to break something. And I'm saying, right? Don't break something good, though.
No.
But, break something you can clean up. And I'm not making light of that. Sometimes you do. I think talk to somebody. Talk to a friend who will listen. Music helps. Sometimes listening to some song, and it might be a love song. Sometimes it helps you to get through whatever that issue is. I'm going to say listen to some good music. Talk to somebody, maybe get with a therapist. If you can't get with a therapist, then talk to a close friend about it. Don't try to talk to them about it. They're not them, not the person that broke your heart. No. Talk to somebody that you trust. Let them know what's going on. And make space for yourself. Like, Dr. Mohn had mentioned, just allow yourself to go through it. Time. You just have to go through it. And each day, it's a little better. One thing I'm going to tell you that's not going to work, though. Don't keep looking at what they got going on social media, trying to look at their pictures and trying to make another account to try to see what they have going on, because that's not going to be helpful. Because if they're smiling and laughing and doing all this good stuff, does that make you feel better? No, you want to feel like you want them to suffer. But I tell you this, if they hurt you and they truthfully wrong hurt, oh, trust me, one day they'll feel it.
Oh,
and you won't even be worried about it anymore. Absolutely. You'll be so moved on, but they'll feel it. But don't wait on that. Just focus on your healing and give yourself the space and time, right, Dr. Mohn?
Absolutely.
Anything else someone needs to do to deal with a broken heart, Dr. Mohn?
No.
Well, I hope that helped you, and I'll leave you with this regarding that. And it says, a broken heart heals when we allow the healing to go as deep as the wound went. And that's by Beth Moore. Again, a broken heart heals when we allow the healing to go as deep as the wound went, by Beth Moore. I thank you for tuning into the Healing Podcast. Thank you for your support, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.